At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, our goal is to help you, your families, and your businesses grow and prosper for generations. We take pride in our community, whether it's volunteering our time or helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We provide you with the personal service and attention you deserve. With over 220 years of banking experience, decisions are made locally. We are Council Bluffs people operating at Council Bluffs Bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Council Bluffs Savings Bank. Hometown banking, the way it used to be. Member FDIC.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the meeting order. Let the record show all members of council are present. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. This evening, we do not have any public hearings. We do have 3 ordinances, a number of resolutions, and applications for permits. If you'd like to speak with the council, please step to the microphone, give your name and address for the record. Madam Clerk.
Ordinances on first reading. Ordinance 6193, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.02.070 by rezoning property located at 1406, 1412, 1414, and 1420 4th Avenue, legally describes it as lots 10 through 14, block 39, beer subdivision from I-1 Light Industrial District to R2 Two-Family Residential District as set forth and defined in chapters 15.20 and 15.09, setting a public hearing for October 14, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Move the ordinance to second reading and set public hearing for 7 p.m. October 14th, 2013.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Ordinance 6194, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.02.070 by rezoning softball fields located off North 8th Street between Avenue I and Avenue J, legally described as lots 1 through 12 and all of the vacated alley, block 5, and lots 1 through 5, block 6, Crawford's rearrangement of blocks 5 and 6 and 7, and all of vacated North 9th Street adjacent. All of vacated Avenue J adjacent to blocks 5 and 6, except the south half of the east 310.61 feet, along with that part of Outlot 2, Crawford's addition lying east of North 10th Street, from R2 Two-Family Residential District to A2 Parks, Estates, and Agricultural District, as set forth and defined in chapters 15.09 and 15.05, and setting a public hearing for October 14, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Is there discussion?
Move the ordinance to second reading and set public hearing for 7 p.m. October 14th, 2013.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Ordinance 6195, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.02.070 by rezoning property located at 234 Bluff Street, legally described as Lot 20, Auditor Subdivision of the West 498 feet of outlots 2 and 3, Jackson's addition from R1 Single Family Residential District to R2 Two-Family Residential District, as set forth and defined in chapters 15.08B and 15.09, and setting a public hearing for October 14, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Motion to approve the ordinance at public hearing for October 14, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-240, authorizing the elimination of 1 captain position and the creation of 1 engineer position within the Council Bluffs Fire Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-241, appointing Matthew Brick of Brick Gentry, P.C., as the alternate bargaining representative in the absence of Cindy Lynch, Human Resources Director.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-242, amending the planned commercial development plan for the Marketplace subdivision located on the southeast corner of Interstate 80 and 29 and South 24th Street.
Motion to concur in staff's recommendation with one exception, namely approval of the request to increase the amount of signage on the Interstate Center pylon sign.
Second.
Is there discussion?
Excuse me.
Good evening, Wes Grammer, Red Legacy, 4717 Central in Kansas City. Mayor, council members, and staff. Again, we appreciate your continued support for the marketplace development for Red Legacy as we move towards this project. We remain very excited about the project and the opportunity here. You know, some of the requests that we made through planning these are tenant-driven requests. These really speak to the marketability of the site itself. They speak to the quality of the retailers that we're going to be able to bring to the site. And you know, some of the things in the planning approval were you know, basic as far as just general layout. But with respect to signage and really with respect to the right-in, right-out onto 24th Street, you know, we appreciate staff taking a look at this with us. You know, respectfully, we disagree. We believe that there is adequate spacing there. It's a very safe right-in, right-out access point. It dramatically changes the quality of retailers, in my opinion, that will be able to get to the site. It truly does. And we've heard that from numerous national retailers. So this isn't just something that we're asking for. You know, from an internal queuing standpoint, I know planning had some questions with respect to the ability to pull into the site and park directly on the entry drive. We'd be willing to do away with that. You could handle that in you know, future approvals for the actual development plan for the specific site. But you know, from a safety perspective, we have our engineers here tonight. They're happy to stand up and talk a little bit about why we believe this is a very normal access point. It's the perfect spot for us to have additional access on the site. And again, you know, most importantly, I think we're all working together here in a partnership to try and bring the best retailers to this site to revitalize the deal. And you know, we believe that the right-in, right-out is a big part of that.
Thank you. You have the engineer that wanted to make a presentation.
Mike Pernicke, Olson Associates, here on behalf of the applicant, 2111 South 67th Street, Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you.
I want to just briefly talk about staff's main concerns with it and talk through some of my thoughts with regards to that and the site plan itself. The first one is the actual spacing of the proposed right-in, right-out with respect to 24th Street. If you were to go ahead and look at the site plan here, the proposed location for the right-in, right-out is right here, halfway between the main drive and then 34th Avenue. As you look at this site and other similar developments, both here in Council Bluffs as well as throughout the Midwest, one of staff's main concerns is its proximity to these two signalized intersections. With regards to the gaps available for traffic to come out and be able to access 24th Street. A couple of items. One is the in movement. The applicant has said they are more than happy within the bounds of, you know, doing the construction and actually having time to put it in place, putting in what would be northbound right turn lane, so all entering traffic gets out of through traffic so it doesn't impede 24th Street. They just talked through some of the issues with regard to the site plan on the first drive and the parking, which they're happy, and certainly the city has site plan approval with regards to removing those to make that a drive that won't back traffic out onto 24th, which should effectively take care of most of the concerns with a lot of the safety issues or concerns that staff had looked at when they reviewed this site plan, albeit, you know, very draft in nature, as well as its relationship to 24th Street. Secondly, was their concern with regards to the overall capacity of 24th Street. Obviously, from an engineering perspective, we look at access management as a way to preserve the capacity of 24th Street, because that's obviously the public facility that needs to work well, not just today, not just for this development, but for the city as a whole. Taking a look at the approved traffic study that projected out to full build out in year 2026, northbound the highest amount of peak hour volume that was projected to be northbound on 24th Street was just about 900 vehicles in the peak hour. The actual capacity of the northbound movement on 24th Street in the year 2026 is between 1,800 and 2,000 vehicles. It's about 900 to 1,000 vehicles per lane in that direction is what the capacity is. Even with full build-out of the site with this proposal, about half or just under half of the capacity of 24th Street is used. So staff's concerns, I fully support them in them asking the questions on what does this do to safety and what does this do to capacity. With our review, I don't believe either safety or capacity be negatively impacted in any way, both opening day, if this were to be constructed, as well as into the future to 2026. So overall, just in very brief summary, they brought up a couple of issues. One is the capacity issues. Even at 2026, at full build-out of all the development between Veterans Memorial Highway and the interstate, only about half the capacity of 24th Street is taken. So there should be adequate capacity and gaps for traffic to pull out of that drive during the peak hour. The projection is for 78 vehicles to use that drive exiting in the peak hour, which is barely just over 1 a minute. If you think about the two signals that are there, when they turn red so that east-west traffic can go, gaps will be provided in traffic where trips should be able to exit that drive into the gap created by the signal turning red. With regards to safety, the design of the access, the applicant's more than happy to install at their cost and their right-of-way dedication, right turn lane, as well as modify the site plan to take away parking and access so it won't back out on 24th Street. In summary, we believe that this can be constructed to handle all the capacity concerns and safety concerns of staff, and I would respectfully submit to you that this will work, and certainly I'm available for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, it just, you know, in looking at the signalized intersections, there's ingress and egress to the south on Lou Ross Road, 2 opportunities. And then there's ingress and egress off 24th Street by the Verizon telephone store.
Yep.
Certainly see a lot of traffic at the steak place, and it doesn't seem to inhibit their business. You know, they're always pretty well booked up. And so I'm curious what retailers are saying, you know, unless I've got a direct shot access on the 24th Street, I really don't want to locate there.
I certainly understand that concern, and I certainly can't speak to which retailer specifically. We reviewed it from the standpoint of, if it was put in there, will it work from a technical engineering standpoint?
I understand.
You wanna take that one?
Any other questions?
So but we learned today at the study session that, you know, there really isn't a whole lot of traffic that comes in from the north. It's typically from the south. In the write-up, we were told, you know, 52 cars, nowhere near what we're quoting.
Well, the inbound traffic would be 52 vehicles coming northbound and turning right in. The more significant number, in my opinion, because if you build that right turn lane, you know, they get out of the flow of traffic and they'll make that right in. So it's a free movement effectively. The concern from a safety and a capacity standpoint is really tied more to the estimated 78 vehicles that would be westbound turning right to go northbound onto 24th Street. That's where a lot more of staff's concerns were, in my opinion, and from a technical standpoint, from an engineering standpoint. So when I said 78, that would be the exiting movement coming out of the development after they're finished going to a restaurant or a store, entering 24th Street to go north up to the interstate.
Okay.
And that's averaged over a day, and we're talking about Chick-fil-A, those people are concentrated into a 2-hour time frame over lunch.
The 78 vehicles is our estimate for what would be the worst PM peak hour, our estimate for what we would anticipate to show up during that peak hour.
Okay.
52 in, 78 out.
And there's no way to, and I should have asked this afternoon, there's no way to configure that other entrance so that they can get in and then on that access road, because there's an internal parallel access road.
Can I ask you to point out what you're meaning?
When you come out of JCPenney, there's a road down here that you can get out on 24th Street.
There's 2 roads.
There's two.
But
Can't you get all the way here down to?
yeah, but what
24th
I'm
Street?
assuming is that you're saying the larger restaurant type chains, whatever, aren't, that's not gonna work for their corporate management requirements. They have to have the immediate access in and out, is that correct?
That's the feedback we've received.
Right.
Okay, and then, I'm not saying that we're gonna approve this, but then who pays for the relocation of the sidewalk? I know that was one of the other concerns, sidewalk.
My discussions with the applicant is happy to relocate the sidewalk, build a right turn lane, and handle whatever right-of-way requirements are necessary for the public right-of-way.
And you're not gonna have people on that, heading northbound, southbound, that are gonna try to turn, against the I mean,
There's a
I think
median,
that's because
there's a
if you-
median in 24th Street. We are not asking for left
there is
turn
a
out
median.
or left turn in
okay,
access.
all right, they're not gonna jump the median.
They
Well, they might, it depends on how hungry they are.
We certainly hope they won't jump the median.
Goodness.
Any others? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Can I just ask for a clarification of, I know there's 6 items.
Why don't you go ahead and just put your name and address, just because
sorry.
it's on the record, this goes
Yeah.
down on the annuals.
Yeah.
And this will be sent off to Washington, and your name will be there for the rest of your life.
Wes Grammer with Red Legacy.
Thank you.
4717 Central. I know there are 6 items in the planning discussion, and I just want to be sure that I understand if we should talk through others as well. We had talked about a monument sign, for example, on the hard corner of 34th and 24th. And that was something that in the planning discussion, we said that it was much more important to have the signage on the freeway. That's very specific to the junior anchors and new spaces that'll be built between the Shopco and the Petco. The number of retailers that'll be built there, they're going to require signage on the freeway. And so there's 2 pieces to the signage.
And I think that was
That's the one we.
approved.
That's the one we approved.
Yeah, that's in the motion to be
Okay.
voted on.
Yeah,
But
Thank
the
Not the
third
pillar.
sign to the south end of the property was not approved.
and the ingress egress are the 2 things that weren't in my motion yet, those
Okay.
2 things. Everything else we would approve, based on the way I made my motion.
Okay. We appreciate your consideration on the right in, right out.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Well, my concern, I can appreciate all the concern about, I really do want to see that area succeed, but at the same time, I have a real concern that there are all those other curb cuts, that is, those places where it's planned that roads will eventually go in to the south as you head towards Veterans Memorial. And a lot of these eventually will be intersections with signals, so lights, because intersections with lights are safer. And if we start having people being able to get in and or out in the middle of what will become blocks, I think we'll run into, like I think the mayor said this afternoon at study session, like West Broadway, where you have a situation where there's so many curb cuts, it can be terribly unsafe to get in and out. I can appreciate the concerns. I think that the majority of this ought to be approved, but, you know, it may very well work with the one building, your one development there now, but when that all fills in, if everybody has curb cuts in the middle of the block, well, then I'm not so certain that makes sense anymore. Then why do we have signaled intersections? I think there's a reason why we set it up to be planned like that, and I think we ought to stick to the plan. But I do appreciate your needing more signs on that. It's great to see you're going to have more of those, the junior tenants, and that, I think we ought to support that, and you're also support changing around the configuration of the planned buildings in the middle and towards the side of the development. That all seems to make sense, but I just can't support a middle of the block exception, because then we'd have to do it for everybody else, and I think that would just be chaotic.
Any other discussion?
And just to make clear, in the 6 items that you're requesting, even though in the write-up it shows 3 yes, 3 no, it'll be, if, depending on the next vote, 4 yes, 2 no. So you're getting 4 of the 6.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Head,
Aye.
Walsh.
Aye.
Watson,
Aye.
White,
Abstain.
Brannigan.
Aye.
Resolution 13-243, approving the annual street finance report ending June 30th, 2013.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-244, authorizing the mayor to extend the staffing agreement between the City of Council Bluffs and the Council Bluffs Chamber of Commerce.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolutions endorsing 2 traffic improvement projects. Resolution 13-245, endorsing the East Broadway realignment at Kingsville Boulevard.
Motion to approve F1 and 2.
Second.
Is there discussion?
I took both, Marcy. the same.
Yeah.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-247, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with McKinnis for the North 28th Street Storm Water Pump Station.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-248, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Venstra and Kim Incorporated for engineering services in connection with the WPCP Primary Clarifier Rehab Project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-249, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Anderson Construction for Fire Station Number 5 roof repair project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-250, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with McKinnis Roofing for the park maintenance building roof repair project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-251, authorizing the city clerk to certify the 2013 water, sewer, and refuse lien collection schedule to the Potawatomi County Treasurer for non-payment of charges.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Resolution 13-252, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Hawkins Construction Company for the River Road Storm outfall repair.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion?
Are we talking about, just to be clear for the record, the alternative A and B plan?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
That'd be included in the motion.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Applications for permits and cancellations, 6A 1 through 7.
Motion to approve 6A 1 through 7.
Second.
Is there discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That ends the written agenda for this evening. Anyone from the council like to speak with the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak with the council? Anyone from the council this evening?
Just remind people that on October 8th, there will be a primary for city council, and I'd encourage people to go out and vote. You know, honestly was a little disappointed in the turnout for the school board election. I think we had less than 500 voters. The school board is now the largest user of your property taxes, and so, as people have said, if you don't vote, you probably have lost your opportunity to voice your opinion. So do it with the vote and start with the primary on October 8th.
And the other thing I'd add is I'd like to thank, and I meant to do it this afternoon and I forgot to do it, but the Health Department, led by Don Dirks, and the Wellness Committee put together what I hope to be a first annual softball tournament of the city staff this weekend, and it was a great event, a great wellness event. I encourage people to get involved and see the wonderful parks we have. Some of us contributed more to the team scoring than others, but it was a fun time. And I encourage you to all get out and see those parks. It's just phenomenal what we have in our community. And I want to thank that committee. I know it takes a lot of work to put together an event, and it was a phenomenal event to get folks out there and to see one of our great public parks.
Anyone else? With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, we take pride in our community, volunteering our time to helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We are Council Bluffs people operating a Council Bluffs bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Hometown banking, the way it used to be.